I live for people telling me like their theories and like trying to figure out what stuff means. Like, oh my god, that is just fuel. Like, yes, tell me everything.
All right. So we are going to have April read a little bit of the story, and then she can give any information she wants about plot, the world, the protagonists. The floor is yours, April.
So, for anyone who does not know what the book is about, it is the best way to describe it is if we take Game of Thrones and we take True Blood and then we smash them together. That's the book. Honestly, that is the book. The main story is about, you know, this family, right? House Halinar. There's 8 of them, these 8 siblings. And it is about their rise and fall. The entire series. It's a 5-book series. And this first book is definitely like how everything gets started. And it's like, wow, you see that like it was already really kind of messed up. Like, how is this gonna get ironed out at all, you know? So the part that I'm reading is from chapter 2. And it's the day of Alanis's party. And Alanis is Tizzy's baby sister. She's the queen through marriage. But, you know, the king died, so she's just kind of like going it alone, and she has no idea what she's doing. And so that's like her arc in this book, is like how to not be an idiot, basically. And that's, yeah, so this is kind of like as the family starts showing up to her party. All right. Here we go. It was still early in the day when the first guests arrived. Alanis was discussing linens with Laura, who sported a dirty apron with disdain. Athen walked by with a towel and a hot pot, dodging an inquisitive Stormy. Then the doors, unbarred and unlocked as usual, creaked open. Hello? We're here! Adeska walked in with a toddler on her hip and a tall, somber man behind her. Hey everyone! Adeska! Alanis tossed her paperwork into the air and ran to her sister's side. Laura picked up after her, trying to remain patient. Is that a new bodice? It looks nice. And the peacock on your Halinar necklace is so shiny. Adeska chuckled. Alanis, stop. You know I don't have anything nice to wear. Not after the weight I put on with this little one. She kissed her daughter on the nose. Her daughter, who didn't resemble anyone in the family at all. And that wasn't the only thing the family said about Mariette when Adeska was out of earshot. Often she was lovingly described as creepy. The pale girl stared unblinkingly with heterochromatic eyes, one that was dark blue like her mother's, and the other a haunting icy blue. Somehow her gaze, though it met no one, felt as if it were locked onto every soul in the room. Alana shook away a sudden chill, then moved in to give her sister a hug. You're as beautiful as ever, Adeska. She batted her eyelashes and then started laughing. Listen to me say that like I haven't seen you in ages. You were here just the other day. Feels like it's been forever, though. Athen started fumbling in front of the kitchen. Hot, it's hot! I'd better go help him. Adeska handed the child over to her expressionless husband, who had not grasped the word formal written on the invite. Here, sweetheart. He took the girl without a word and watched Adeska scamper off to the kitchen with Athen. Just like that, Alanis' anchor was gone. She looked up at Senta with a sheepish grin. Sure, he may have been a little disheveled, but it was no mistake why Adeska was first interested in him. His expression, though it was hard, was worn on a handsome, chiseled face that was deep coppery tan. He left his dark brown hair a tousled mess as always, and seldom locked his dark, mysterious eyes on anyone. "Hello, Senta." "Hello, Mariette," Alanis cooed, tucking a lock of the toddler's white blonde hair behind her ear. She liked her sister's family, and it was never enjoyable to talk about them in secret. Or at least that's what she said to Laura to make herself feel better afterward. And besides, sometimes the children of mages just looked strange, and Adeska was proficient with magic. "Say hello," Senta told his daughter. Alanis didn't know much about the man, but had gathered that he wasn't from the Mirror of the Mainland. He had just the faintest remains of an accent, and all Adeska had said regarding his birthplace was that it was some islands. And the name Senta Anuheya Janzera didn't help her narrow down which ones. "Hi." At last the girl spoke. Alanis cheered and clapped her hands. The day was getting back to a fine start once the earlier hiccups had passed. Tizzy spent over an hour getting ready in her new gown. She hated how vulnerable she felt in it. It wasn't her. She didn't belong in it. She fixed the problem with a pair of leather leggings and boots underneath. Alanis would never know. Before long, Laura came to her room with makeup. The Besky woman set a silk-covered chest on top of Tizzy's desk, then turned to look her over. My, Alanis bet it all on black and hit the jackpot. Tizzy stared at herself in the mirror. "You think so? I don't really feel like myself." Laura chuckled and opened the chest, taking out a little black pot and a thin brush that came to a point. "That's good. If you stood up straight and glared at everyone like usual, this dress would give you too much power." She accented Tizzy's eyes with a thin line of black coal paint, then dabbed a pomegranate red stain on her lips. "There." Laura twisted the lid back on the stain. "I don't think I need to fuss with you any more than that. You're fetching, even if you do look like you're going to eat someone alive. The Queen will just have to accept that. What do you think?" Now that she saw herself all done up, Tizzy wasn't sure how she felt. On one hand, she thought she looked ridiculous. Did her body even look right in a dress? But on the other hand, she was downright impressed. The black feather bodice, the glass beads glittering like stars against the fabric. She'd never seen herself in a garment that was so inarguably her. Okay, we're gonna keep going because there's a part where, she's such a bitch, and it's great.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, real quick though.
Yes.
How's the music, everyone? Is it too loud? Too quiet? Can you hear it at all? Because I
can't hear it.
Okay.
Let me turn this up real quick.
It's good? Okay. Well, Jackie says it's good. Kay says you can hear it, I think.
Okay, I can kind of hear it. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I don't technically need to hear it, so ignore me.
Okay. Jackie says audible, but she can hear us over it very well. So.
Good. Wonderful.
We're good. We're good.
All right.
Okay, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's good. It's good. And then Laura left, and she realized it was easy to admire herself from behind a locked door all day, but that would never stand. The Queen's big event brought the same dread every year. Formal attire she didn't feel comfortable in, and distant family that she didn't feel comfortable around. "Alanis needs me," she mumbled, fighting for the courage to leave her room. "I have to go out there. Alanis needs me to help her with this stupid party." She let out a shaky sigh, running her fingers over her Halinar necklace. "Breathe, Tizzy." She left her room and walked the upstairs hallways that looked into the grand hall, sliding her hand along the rails. A massive table had been set up, seating at least 50, though there would be half that in attendance at best. Laura had almost finished the centerpiece when it came time to help Alanis again, which left Adeska to put in the finishing touches. The oldest sister took pause in the chore to fold the napkin for Mariette, who remained unresponsive. Senta was setting up a smaller table only a few paces away, arranging wine glasses and House Halinar's finest collection from vineyards far and wide. He picked a few unique bottles and came over to the main table. "See the napkin bird, Mariette?" Adeska asked, giggling and waving the napkin. "What noise do birds make?" Mariette said nothing. "So," Senta set one of the bottles down and eyed it beside the autumn-inspired centerpiece. "The necromancers are really going to be here." Adeska heard his thinly veiled disapproval loud and clear. "Yes, sweetheart, they're my family. And Rhett isn't actually a necromancer, just Lazarus." "It matters. They both practice forbidden arts." Adeska grumbled and leaned into her hand. Up above, Tizzy drummed on the rails and whispered to herself, "Of course, the Lord and Lady Perfect are here." As if on cue, Senta started again. "And what's Tizzy's problem?" "Hey!" Adeska raised a finger at him. "We are never to bring that up. I told you that." Tizzy was gripping the railing so tight, her hands were shaking when she let them loose. Everyone always had something to say when they thought she wasn't there. So far, this year is looking a lot like the last. Too much alcohol and not enough entertainment, as she recalled. Criticized Tizzy had become the fun game of the evening for the new family members who had bothered to show up. Then everyone heard soft footsteps. Alanis darted into the grand hall, winded. "I've got just a minute to check in. I have to start getting myself ready, but everyone should be showing up soon. And wow!" She stood in front of the table, completed at last. "This looks great." "Thank you," Adeska smiled. "Mari and I did all right, but Laura laid some impressive groundwork. I can't take all the credit." "She is amazing," Alana swooned. "I just came by to let you all know that I'll be a while. If you could just check up on Athen in the kitchen every now and then, that would be good. He prefers to cook by himself, but he'll also bite off more than he can chew. Now if I could just find Tizzy." "I'm here." Alana whipped around and gazed at the grand staircase, her jaw agape. "You look fantastic." She tried to contain her excitement as Tizzy came forward. She couldn't. Beaming, she bobbed up and down, watching as the great vision she'd had bubbled over into her surroundings. "I know you said you liked the dress this morning, but I was still worried you weren't going to go through with it. Look at you!" Tizzy fought the sudden urge to smile. She kept her composure and didn't meet Alanis' eyes. The queen shook the last of her jittery enthusiasm out, all her pearl bracelets clinking against one another. "This is perfect. Here's the guest list. You know the drill. If anyone shows up who isn't on this list, can I count on you to handle it?" She grinned. "Yes, I'll handle it." She took the paper and chewed her lip. "Okay, see you soon, everyone!" Alana skipped away, and Tizzy was alone with Adeska and the in-laws. She had no time to avoid her older sister's hug. "Tizzy! Calm down," she shrugged her away. "I just saw you a few days ago." "Sorry." Adeska blushed and started rubbing at a speck on her bodice that wasn't there. "I just get excited to see family. You know how I am." Everyone moved to the table, and Senta opened a bottle of wine. He made her nervous, so she turned her attention to her niece while he poured 3 glasses. "Hi there, Mariette." "Hi, Auntie." "Hello, Tizina." Tizzy swung her head in Senta's direction and gave him a dry stare. "I told you to stop calling me that. And hello." She rolled her eyes and finally decided to go over the paper Alanis had handed her. "Wait, she said this was a family reunion, didn't she? So why is there a guest list?" Adeska swirled the wine around in her glass. "She said she wanted it to be really special this year. So the first part of the night is going to be friends and family. Then the friends will leave, and it'll be just us, like a real party." That sounded exhausting, Tizzy thought. "The friends part of the list is just people from your guys' old raiding party." "Really?" Adeska's sigh was bittersweet and longing. "Oh, that's wonderful! Who's coming?" "Let's see." Tizzy scanned the names. "Lex and Dina are both coming. If I remember them correctly, that's a party in itself." You remember correctly. Adeska took a sip. Ooh, that's tart. Sweetheart, I don't know if I like this one. Let it breathe, I just opened it. Senta tried to get comfortable on the padded bench seating, scooting from cushion to cushion until he finally stilled himself. Who else is going to make it? Someone named Sato. Mid-sip, Adeska spewed wine all over the table. Mommy, there's a mess. Adeska coughed and blushed as she reached for a napkin. Yes, honey, there sure is. I haven't seen Sato in ages. Senta was oblivious to the spill, caught up in a reverie that made him smile in a way Tizzy had never seen before. Actually, she wasn't sure that she had ever seen him smile at all. After the raids, most of us still stayed pretty close, but Sato, he's always got a lot going on. I feel bad that we drifted apart. Tizzy had only been half listening when she saw her mistake. Whoops, I was wrong. His name is crossed out. Silly me. Senta expressed his disappointment in a mumble, then left to look at more wine labels. Adeska sopped up the mess, the red in her face turning deeper with every second. Tizzy smiled inwardly at a job well done. There we go. She knows what's going on. She's stirring the pot. She's fucking stuff up.